You know what? I think scrimmage won for the most part. Some good things happened. I thought offensively, first unit, our playmakers showed up, made plays, and we were pretty consistent there. I think backups, we got to pick it up, but that's normal. Just haven't been in a pressure situation like this. We just got to clean up the details, and I think they can get it done. They need to have confidence they can get it done, but we got to make sure more than 11 are ready to go, which I feel we're going in the right direction on defense. I think we're getting better. Preventing big plays, preventing passes over our head is what we need to do. For the most part, we did pretty good there. There were a few times, since it wasn't live tackle, that we probably could have made a play or made a hit, and we allowed them to make a catch or two. But overall, I thought it was a good job. Once again, by our first unit, I thought we got good push up front by our D-line. That was good. Plenty of push up front, some batted balls that were really beneficial. Great effort on the defensive line. So that was good to see. So, we got to use this scrimmage and put ourselves in some more situations like this on Wednesday and next Saturday so that we're getting ready for game one.
Jeff, what do you feel like, not just today, but throughout the first couple of weeks you've seen from Miller? What do you like, and how is he kind of coming through with the offense?
Well, I think he's got great poise. That showed up today. He's calm in the pocket. He can deliver the ball accurately when he knows where to go, when things are in rhythm. Buying a little extra time, standing in there when things are getting bumped and jiggled around a little bit where it doesn't happen quite perfectly the way we draw it up. He's got to continue to kind of feel his way through that and make good decisions, and slide in the pocket, make a play. Those are things he's got to work through, and not till you get in game situations can you really practice that. So I think for the most part he did good there, but maybe clean that up a little bit. So I think he's a veteran who understands the position that I know he'll play well.
What's the backup competition been like the first couple of weeks of camp?
I think that we've been improving that position. I don't think today was one of our better days at the backup position. The quarterback, we weren't as consistent. And that's not always on the quarterback. New receivers that maybe weren't quite as sharp. The offensive line, the second unit was not as sharp for sure. So it wasn't an easy pocket to throw from, and there weren't wide open people all the time. So, but it wasn't a great day by us there. But overall, we've made progress this fall. I think they'll continue to push forward. They'll see a lot of things on this video they can correct and get better at. But that's the tough part. A lot of times when you're a backup and you're going with the twos and the threes, the pieces around you will not be quite as complimentary as the ones, but you got to make it work. So I think we got to work through that.
Jeff, you mentioned that the second team offensive line had a little bit of a struggle today, but what did you see out of the first team offensive line today?
I think we've been pretty consistent up front there. We try to be a little pass happy today, make them pass protect a little bit, but I think they got a pretty good understanding. Some of the new pieces made a mistake here and there that we got to get cleaned up, but I think we're making progress. We had a few people drop out because of the heat and some things like that. We got to be able to play in these situations. The first 6 games will be this hot. On the turf it gets hotter, so you got to drink your fluids before the game. You got to stay stretched out and ready. You got to be able to play the entire game. So we had a few people not be able to finish, and that has to improve.
You've got Colin and Chris, obviously, as the top two receivers there. But what do you like in the competition for that third spot? Antonio's look good, Trayshawn's look good, as well as a number of guys.
Well, you're correct. I do think Chris and Colin have been consistent this camp. There are two veteran playmakers. They will get many targets. Behind that receiver position is improving. Trayshawn, Dakari, TJ, Chris Hughes. There's 4 or 5 guys that are right there in the mix. I think once again, just being consistent, doing the small things right, running the right route, being precise, making the adjustments, getting lined up quick, being able to communicate and adjust to the defense, catch the ball clean, not get it knocked out, catch the ball, get vertical after. All those things just got to constantly show up, and we just got to work through that. But I think we're making progress.
As a play caller, how nice is it to have the 3 running backs? I mean, you had those guys last year, but I'm sure they're much improved this year. Guys who can, pretty much break one at any time.
We feel great where we're at. Like I said, today we were a little pass happy. I know what our running game to do. We want to keep those running backs healthy. I think when we have Isaac, Duke, and even Kiwan, those are 3 guys that understand what we're doing. We feel confident with them in there. They all can do good things for us. There's a few young running backs that are improving and getting better, but those are guys that need to touch the ball quite a bit, especially Isaac and Duke, and we're going to make sure they do that in a lot of different ways.
With today being a pass happy scrimmage, I'm sure you got a lot of good work and good reps out of your secondary. What did you see out of them, not only today but over the course of fall camp?
Well, the key once again is not giving up big plays, being set, keeping the ball in front of us while we challenge routes as well. And I just think that's been the emphasis. And if you look at our season last year, big pass plays happened too many times, and we've got to work hard to get that fixed. And getting pressure on the quarterback, being in position, occasionally challenging things and getting up and pressing and guarding things, but not letting the ball be thrown over our head, at least making them earn it, and not giving up wide open completions is the emphasis. And I think we've made improvement, but we still got to correct a few things and clean up a few things that just happened today, and hopefully make progress there again.
Field goals, do you like the competition that you're getting from a potential field goal kicker?
Well, that competition's been good. We have some young kickers, and certain days they really looked well. Today in some pressure situations, didn't come through quite as much, but that's what we need to do. As many pressure situations as we can get, we have to put them in it because that's when it really counts. But I think as far as ability and talent, they have it. Being consistent, being able to do it when the pressure's on, us putting pressure on them in practice as much as we can will be vital for us to be good in the kicking game.
How much do you learn when you bring them in here for a real scrimmage, quote unquote, versus over there it's the same practice but it's a different setting?
Actually, we learn a lot. We had the headsets, we had the using the press box. We did quite a few things that are game-like. So even for coaches, it's beneficial. For players, for sure, getting in and out of the huddle, being on the sideline, knowing the substitution pattern, being ready to go, that's critical. So you can't make any mistakes there. So we need to do this as much as we can within reason. So we'll do it on Wednesday and Saturday of this week again, and hopefully get better.
What have you seen from Dion? I mean, he was around the program, but having him on the field through the spring and now, as you're seeing him as a coach.
Well, what I like about Dion, he's a great person. So he's going to coach hard and try to help these guys, and the players are going to play for him, and that shows up. I think he's a very poised coach because he's played the position. He doesn't get rattled. He knows throughout the course of the game some things are going to happen, but he's got to keep his composure while maybe me or somebody yells a little bit and hollers and screams, and he does a great job with that. And just kind of schooling those guys up as the game's going on in a controlled manner where they feel that he believes in them and that he's going to boost their confidence and help them play better. I think he's really good at that, and that comes natural to him. And I think he loves doing it as well. He loves these guys. He loves the football aspect now, as well as helping them achieve their goals.
You mentioned that you got a lot of good push today from your defensive line. Have you been pleased with what you've seen so far from that defensive front?
I like our defensive line, and I think we have some depth there. And I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I've seen really good things at times. So once again, we got to show up. Sometimes maybe they're going against the twos. Maybe that's why they look a little better. But I think we definitely have capable young men. Maybe not the experience at certain positions, but definitely at least two deep, talented-wise at all four of those positions, both defensive ends, both tackles. And I expect them to play well. I think they will. And once again, all that ties together. We've got to cover things tighter. We've got to challenge things a little bit more and just give a little more time to get in there and be aggressive in our approach and tackle when we get back there.
All right.
Is Greg going to miss the cameras at practice?